All right, welcome back. We are kicking off strong 43, day one of the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge. This marks the start of a new strong, and today's message is really simple. You need a powerful new mindset to navigate today's hustle. Okay, let's dive right into this, because this is the core theme. Life is this continuous journey, right? You have a starting line, you've got checkpoints along the way, but you never really truly arrive. It's not about some big race to a finish line, it's all about constant progression.
And think about it, the only real finish line is the end. Until that day comes, you are always in a state of becoming something more. The second you sit back and think, yep, I've made it, nothing left to do, that's the exact moment you stop growing. So, embracing the journey itself, that's the whole key.
So, where does this philosophy start? Well, it starts with how we approach our week, and more specifically, how we look at Mondays. It is time for a major reframe.
Now, what's so fascinating here is this shift from absolute dread to empowerment. You see that term heart attack Monday? That wasn't just a clever phrase. Statistics actually showed a spike in heart attacks on Monday mornings because people were waking up to lives they absolutely hated. The new mindset is about taking your heart back, reclaiming your purpose, taking back your direction, and owning your energy. And this isn't just some feel-good motivational fluff. The source is crystal clear. If you don't have that internal driver, that reason that makes you want to get out of bed, your journey will eventually just stop. Purpose is what keeps that fire inside you burning. Okay, so let's build on that. To keep that purpose alive and kicking, you have to constantly be updating your perspective. It's kind of like getting a new prescription for your glasses. When you get new information, suddenly everything comes into focus with new clarity. So, with this new clarity, let's look at the world right now. There's this wild prediction from a billionaire CEO about who's perfectly positioned to win in the age of artificial intelligence. And I'll bet it's probably not who you think.
First up, people in skilled trades. Yeah, think electricians, plumbers, builders, the folks who work with their hands. Their work is physical, it's complex, and it's really hard to automate. As AI changes everything, these hands-on skills are becoming more valuable than ever.
Now, the second group, this is a total game changer. We're talking about neurodivergent individuals. The whole argument here is that these unique ways of thinking are shifting from being seen as a weakness to being a massive advantage.
And this is where that reframe we talked about really clicks into place. Instead of a handicap, these conditions are being seen as gifts, as superpowers. They can allow for this incredible laser-like focus or unique perspective that can help someone become the absolute best in the world at something specific. The future rewards thinking differently.
I mean, the source shares this incredible story about a man who worked in maintenance. Some people might have seen him as having a limitation, but his superpower was this insane memory for facts, like the birthdays of thousands of actors. Back in the day, it was just a strange quirk. Today, that kind of talent could make him a viral TikTok star.
So the big takeaway here is how we should be using this new technology. AI is a tool. That's it. The real power happens when a thoughtful human mind uses it as an assistant. You have to remember, garbage in, garbage out. If you feed it a weak idea, you're going to get a weak product back.
And you know what? This new AI-driven reality means we have to completely blow up the traditional blueprint for what a successful career looks like.
We're seeing this massive shift happening right now. The old path, college, mountains of debt, and then maybe, hopefully, an uncertain job is being replaced. The new path is all about tangible skills, real-world experience, and actually doing things, executing on ideas.
But let's be real for a second. Why did so many of us go down that old road? The source suggests it wasn't always because it was the smartest choice. A lot of the time, it was because we wanted approval from our parents, from society. It was just the expected thing to do.
So this is a big moment for reflection. I want you to really think about this. With the information you have today, knowing what you know now, would you still have taken on that student loan debt? Would you have made those same career choices? A lot of people are realizing the answer is no.
Okay, so if the entire path to success is different, then the way we work has to be different too. It's time to move away from just pure brute force effort and start building intelligent systems.
So what does that even mean? Well, the core idea is to build something that isn't just tied to your 24 hours in a day. By using partnerships, automation, even leveraging different time zones, you can create a system where, while you're fast asleep, someone on the other side of the planet is wide awake helping your business grow.
And listen, this is not just some pie-in-the-sky theory. The source points to a real-world example. A 19-year-old who pulled in $250,000 in sales in 1 month. How?
It wasn't by working harder, it was by working smarter with a leveraged system.
And this just proves it. Getting incredible results like that isn't about luck. It's not a random roll of the dice. Success is a behavior that you can learn. It comes from applying a totally different mindset and a different strategy.
But at the end of the day, all of this new perspective, this incredible information, it's all completely meaningless without one final, absolutely crucial piece of the puzzle. It all boils down to this super simple but incredibly powerful equation. Information on its own is just potential. It doesn't change a thing. Real, true transformation only happens when you combine that information with decisive action. And that right there is the ultimate warning. The biggest regret you can have in life isn't failure. It's looking back years from now and realizing you had the opportunity, you had the information, the light bulb went on, but you chose to do nothing.
So, we'll leave you with that thought. The perspective has been updated. The blueprint for a whole new way of thinking and working is sitting right in front of you. But the choice to actually pick up the tools and build something with it, well, that's entirely up to you.
Yeah, hustle bear in the building. Adrenaline truth, this that run up the hill grind. Pressure make diamonds, I've been cutting through the steel line. Dreams don't chase you, better get it while the will grind. Legacy's a blueprint I've been building on the real time. If fear's in the room, I'm the one to make it go quick. Faith in my chest, watch me load it like a full clip. Haters catch the wave or get washed in emotion. Action over doubt, that's the hustle bear doctrine. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Ay, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed. I woke up with a mission like the rent due on my oxygen. Purpose in my pocket, every loss became a document. I'm calibrated differently, my hustle got a doctorate. Turn my fears to employees, got them working on my confidence. Life hit me with storms, but I learned how to monetize the rain. Pain became a passport, now I travel through the strain. People love excuses, cause excuses never change. But action pay the bills, that's the truth inside the game. Had to cut some ties there, weight don't climb. If your circle ain't moving, then you running out of time. I ain't waiting on a sign, I was born to be a beacon. Hunger ain't a mindset, it's a language I speak in. Every day is overtime, I ain't got no halftime. Walking with a lion heart, built it from the bad times. Legacy's a contract, God signed the bottom. Now I hustle like the devil, never wanted me to blossom. I done fought my own shadows, had to box with my doubts. Took the quiet route to freedom, now my voice too loud. You can measure a man's truth by the storms he survives. I took every closed door as a gym for my mind. Pressure got a flavor, I've been learning how to taste it. Fear is just a wire that your courage gotta break with. This grind ain't pretty, it's sweat, grit, pavement. But comfort is a prison and dreams don't do arrangements. I came from the trenches of excuses and delay. Now discipline the engine, keep me pushing through the day. I ain't working for the moment, I'm investing in a name. When your legacy the mission, every step becomes a flame. People talk potential like it's somehow gonna save them, but potential's just a debt, action's how you gotta pay it. Success ain't in the future, it's a choice in the now. And if you waiting on approval, you ain't ready for the crown. I've been running through the pain like a treadmill on fire. See the ashes of my doubts, that's the proof I'm getting higher. Every no became a hammer, built a kingdom out of trials. Faith drove the steering wheel while hustle held the tires. Ain't no elevator up, just the stairs of intention. Gotta climb with conviction, every step is a lesson. The grind is a mirror, what you see is a reflection. If you lazy with your actions, you gon' struggle with direction. Had nights where I cried, but the tears paid dues. Had fights with my pride, but the growth came through. Every scar got a purpose, every bruise got a clue. If you scared of the fall, you ain't ready for the view. I'm a soldier for the dream, that's the oath that I keep. Motivation ain't a moment, it's a promise you repeat. If you walking with excuses, you ain't walking with me. And if you want another level, you should hustle like a beast. I've been running through the noise with a fire in my lungs. Every setback was a lesson, now I'm speaking in tongues. From the bottom to the summit, all I needed was a spark. Now my pain got a purpose, see the light in the dark. Hey, motion over madness, that's the code that I keep. Every dream need a soldier, I ain't losing no sleep. Put the doubts in the dirt, plant the faith like a seed. If you want it, go and get it, that's the hustler's creed.
In a forgotten land, the village of Consistia was always covered in a thick, grey fog. This was the grind, a curse that made everyone feel stuck doing the same things over and over. No matter how hard the villagers worked, their efforts seemed to vanish into the misty air, and progress was slow or non-existent. Those who dared to dream of something more were often laughed at or told to be quiet, leaving them to live on scraps while cookie-cutter merchants promised riches that never came. One day, a bright new traveler named Markel the Hustler arrived, carrying no weapons, but a special rolled-up parchment called the Scroll of Consistency. The scroll was a legendary guide, whispered to hold the secrets to freedom and a better life. Markel didn't offer shortcuts. Instead, he taught 3 forgotten arts: creativity, consistency, and connection. He showed the villagers how to turn simple words into powerful spells of persuasion, how to craft images that would sparkle and catch the eyes of faraway travelers, and how to build bridges to share their talents with others. But the grind's curse was strong. The fog thickened again, and from it emerged the shadows of average, spooky creatures that whispered doubts and tried to make everyone distracted or tired. Many villagers felt their hope fading, believing the whispers, "It's too hard. You're not ready. You'll fail like the others." Markel's voice cut through the whispers. Consistency breeds trust. Hustle builds freedom. Raise the bar, and together we rise. Inspired, the villagers rallied. They learned to use funnels of fire, bright offers that warmed strangers, the blade of story, messages that cut through the noise, and seeds of traffic, efforts that grew into big harvests. The final battle came when the towering lord of mediocrity, a huge figure of fear and laziness, descended to stop their progress. But the villagers, once timid, now stood bravely with Markel. They launched a campaign of content that shone like pure light, music that woke up hearts, and offers that couldn't be ignored. As the shadows retreated, the grind's fog finally lifted. The village of Consistia was free, now filled with creativity, freedom, and wealth they created themselves. Markel didn't become a king. Instead, he left the scroll of consistency in the village center, telling them, "This was never about me. It was about what you could become when you decided to hustle with purpose." And so, the village became a shining beacon, attracting travelers from all over who sought their own freedom, creativity, and the courage to break free from being just average. Hard work and consistent effort can build a truly amazing world.
Send in the rescue team before this get any worse.
This ain't a backdrop, it's a movie I direct. Every scar got a roll, every loss got a set. Lights on the truth, I don't shoot for effect. I turn pain into scenes the world won't forget. No permission slips, no waiting on chance. I cut the fear out the frame, let the vision advance. If life wrote the script, I rewrote the intent. Welcome to the mindset, movie studio mindset. I ain't standing at a screen, I'm standing Winning in control, whole studio in my reach. Every button got a goal. They taught us consume, never taught us create. So I flipped the equation, turned delay into fate. Every failure got I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is a special day. It's a very special day for me, anyway. Today is Strong 44, Day 1, and we are right at 18 minutes into today's challenge. So right now, I'm streaming on a couple of different places. I'm streaming on my Facebook profile, I'm streaming on YouTube, and I'm streaming on my new Facebook profile. I decided to start all over from the beginning about 60 days ago. So I decided to start all over because I wanted to start a new journey, reach out and connect with new people, try to find my target audience, people that really vibe with what I got going on and what I wanted to share, right? So I decided to go on that journey. So for those that are watching on my new Facebook page, I want you guys to, put a 1 in the comment section. Matter of fact, anybody, everybody. If you're watching live, put a 1 in the comment section just to let me know that you're watching live. Now, if you happen to be watching this on a replay, then put a 2 in the comment section. Now, I'm going to do this like I always do. This is something that I've done in my private group consistently. As I stated, this is Strong 44. So when I say strong, that's the powerful version of, or the opposite of weak, right? So this is 44 weeks of consistency that I've been doing this challenge, whether you know it or not, whether you showed up for it or not. Just know that I show up. I show up consistently. I show up without question. I show up whether somebody else shows up to see me, to watch me, to learn from me, to get this, what I call edutainment, whether there's 0 people or there's 10, 20 people, or however many people, right? I show up consistently. Now, today is special for me for a specific reason. And I'm going to take it back for you guys. And I'm going to just share with you a few different things so that you get to understand and get to know me personally. Today, I'm not going to get deep into any specific trainings, but hopefully, as I always aim to do, I hope to inspire and motivate and give the right person what I call light bulb moments to help them move forward in their lives in a positive direction. So everything that I do is designed to give you some type of education, to help you, to be positive, to inspire. So every man, woman, child, whoever's listening, that's what I'm about. But almost a year ago, I started this challenge, right? 44 weeks ago, to be exact. And I started this challenge on the birthday of someone that's very special to me and that's very special to millions of people. I often talk about this individual, and I say that he was one of my first mentors. And in my personal opinion, he's one of the greatest leaders to ever live. So not just in his particular field of expertise, I look at him as being the GOAT, but in the overall realm of inspiring, motivating, and helping um, mold me into the person that I am. A person of principle, a person that's looking to help build community, a person that's about my people, a person that tries to give everything that he has on a daily basis in order to, lead somebody in the right direction. Now, I know that's not popular. That's not popular. Most people want to follow the person that wants to, you know, do something else. But it is what it is. That's life. That's how, unfortunately, a lot of human nature is. A lot of people say that they want positive people, they want to be led in the right direction, but they often follow negativity. They often follow people that, don't have it in their heart or their soul in order to provide that. But if you've been with me from the beginning, then you know for a fact I'm here for that. I'm here for the positive, and I'm here to build something with the right people. So that individual that I speak of, I always tell you guys, I always represent for the people that, I represent for. And I'm going to do that until the clock strikes zero. So that individual is Tupac. So on June 16th of 2025, as you can see illustrated in this picture, that's always in what I call the most valuable document in all of online marketing, the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge document, right? So I have that number right there. That's the date right there. It's always there. That was day one that I started out this Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge. It was on his birthday. Now, at the time when I started it, right, it wasn't my intention to do anything more than one live. I just wanted to do one live. I just wanted to start out and break the mold of what I was doing. Up until that point, I hadn't gone live in a long time. And I would say probably years. And it was something that I needed to do in order to, move forward in my online career and building my online business, right? But I was so inspired and motivated by it that by the end of that live, I decided that I'm going to come back the next day. And then the next day I came back, right? And by the end of that live, I said, okay, I'm going to come back the next day. And the trend continued. By the end of that strong, right? Not weak, but that strong, I said to myself, I can't stop. I have to be consistent. I started on a positive trend. I started doing something that was going to help me develop and grow personally and to grow my business, right? So I decided that I was going to continue. And today marks 44 strong weeks, over 200 lives that I've done consistently, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. EST time. And I plan on continuing for as long as I possibly can. But today, today is a special day because today I celebrate another special person, another mentor, another inspiring individual, another person that motivated me throughout my whole life. And that person is me. So today is my birthday. And I have to tell you guys that, I often look at things and I'm the type of person that pay attention to signs. I'm big on numbers. I'm big on, I'm not big on like astrology and stuff like that, even though, I might get into it a little bit, but I'm big on manifestation. I'm big on how the universe works and how timing is everything. Everybody has their own special timing where it's the right time for you to make a decision. It's the right time for you to, fall back off of some things. And there's always numbers involved in these situations. So growing up, I used to always, play with numbers in my mind. And today, you know, leading up to today, it couldn't have happened more perfectly. So today is my 44th birthday, and today is the 44th week of me going live. And one of the one of the things that I do on a daily basis, right? The main goal or the main purpose of what this Hustlers 10 Minute a Day challenge was based off of, it was based off of creating music. And a long time ago, or in the beginning of this journey, probably almost a year ago, I created a song, and it was called, um, I forget the exact title of it, but part of the lyrics in it was, I'm Mr. 444 before Jay-Z, right? So 444, once again. So, and we could play around with numbers all day. I like doing that, but I'm not going to bore you with that. But I was also born at 4:44 in the morning. So fours continue. I look at that and I get inspired because, numbers mean a lot. They say men lie, women lie, numbers usually tell the truth. So I wanted to come to you guys today, once again, not to give you a full out training or anything like that, but to give you my form of edutainment. I wanted to celebrate my birthday, and I wanted to celebrate it with my specific community. So I decided to go live on my public profile instead of just going live in the private group as I do Monday through Friday. So today, I just want to have some fun. I want to just celebrate. I want to just have some fun and do what I do, which is, I create music, I play music, I create all kinds of content. You know, I I'm a little bit petty too, so I'm a be as authentically myself as possible. I'm not going, you know, use any foul language and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep it PG. But I will tell you this, you know, I look at certain things, and in my petty mindset, I always say, I'm the best in the world at what I do. And I'm a little bit competitive, or I've become a little bit competitive. When I see somebody do something, some people inspire me. There's some great individuals, they know who they are, that put in that work on a daily basis, and they inspire me to go hard, to to move forward, to work harder, to develop and grow. And then there's some other individuals that, I look at and I'm like, yeah, you all right, but I put in more work. I'm better at what I do than, whatever. So, but that's just me. That's just that petty New Yorker in me, or whatever. I'm gonna put it that way. If you're from New York or whatever, it is what it is. We have a certain thing about ourselves that we feel as though we at the top of the chain, that we are who we are. We the best in the world at what we do, whatever it is. So that's just my New York nature. But today, you know, I'm not sure how long I want to go live for, but I want to share with you guys who I am. And I want to share it in a special way. And once again, in a way that I call edutainment. So I've been a content creator or online marketer for almost or over 15 years. But I really got into content creation within the last few years. And I'm a technical type of person, so I love to actually put in the work. So that's part of the thing that make me a little bit petty, because I see a lot of people who don't like to put in the work. They like to cut corners. They like to keep things simple and plain and, copy and paste. But I'm more of a hands-on type of person. I like to build it. I like to talk about it. And, you know, I like to put in the work. That's just part of my makeup. So when I see, situations where people aren't really like that, it makes me a little bit competitive. It makes me a little bit petty because I'm like, eh, you don't put in the work. You don't do what I do. So I wanted to share with you guys what I actually do. And just to share with you in the form of video, music, art, if you want to call it that. I create a lot of AI generated content, but just like I just mentioned, I don't just do prompting. I don't just create a prompt or ask AI to write me a prompt. I create things based off of my personal experiences. I create my own personal trainings where, whether it's an hour long or 2 hours long or however long, that's personal information that I've experienced, things that I've learned, things that I've done, and I plug it into the system. So every piece of my content is a piece of me. It's not AI generated, so to speak. It's AI generated, it's AI created, but it's not from the heart and soul of AI. It's from the heart and soul of me. So anything that you see me do, any piece of music that you hear me create, just know that I had a 100% or whatever percent you want to say input on how that turned out. It wasn't just a prompt and let the AI do whatever it's going to do. And that's why it might sound a little bit different. It might not sound like everybody else's because it's designed to sound like me. So I want to take you back. In preparation for today's live, I was thinking to myself, what do I actually want to share with you guys? And there's so many things that I can share. I've recently posted that, I've created probably, well over, I ain't even want to say probably, um, but well over 1,000 pieces of content. So I put in the work. I do the work, and, that makes it a lot harder to decide on what you want to actually share, what I want to actually present to the world, because it's just so much to pull from. But I said to myself that I wanted to go back kind of to the beginning of my journey when I really got into creating content. And one of the things, or one of the first videos that I made, I want to share with you that one right off top because it's one of my favorite, even though it might not be the best quality. And I'm big on the fact that quality is is something that I'm big on. But quality and value, depending on who you speak to, it varies. So I've seen people make content with, stick figures or black and white or, just basic stuff. And it's been quality or valuable. It's been more valuable than something that's overproduced, 8K, cinematic style stuff. So value is, it depends on your perspective. But one of the first things that I made, one of the first songs and videos that I made, it actually was, you heard part of the song in that beginning intro. It was my food for action song. So one of my favorite terms that I use is I give you food for action. So a popular term has always been food for thought. And I like that, but once again, I'm all about that action. So we can have thoughts all day long. And I think most people, they have thoughts, but few people, they actually take action on those thoughts. And that's the difference. That's the difference between people that get it done and people that sit and just ponder and think about what it is that they want to do. And then their thoughts just become, thoughts, things that they recite to themselves in their mind, things that they talk to other people about. And then those people look at them like, hey, did you ever get that started? Did you ever do that? You're like, no, well, I've been thinking about it. I might get started next week. No, I'm not that type of person. If I have a thought, I'm gonna put action behind it, and that's what I do. So when I first came out with this particular song, and I'm looking back, it says the date of that particular music video that I did. It was March 28th, 2025. So right over a year ago. But it's still one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite videos. And I want to start out by playing that for you guys. And we're going to kick off the celebration. And I hope you guys enjoy. It's a mix. Well, this one isn't a particular mix. This was back when, I was using just 3D animation tools. So now, like I said, people, they become great prompters. They can prompt, write a prompt and let the AI do all the work. But this takes it back to when, we was putting in the work, animating, making the characters move and stuff like that. Actually, getting in the tool and putting in that work. So this is something that I'm very proud of, if not solely because of that, but also because it represents me and how I look at life. So let's press play.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready to fight. I'm cooking up moves, got a pot on the stove. Enough for the country, watch how it grows. The secret's in the sauce, every lesson I drop. Season for success, straight to the top. Don't choke on the truth, chew it up, digest. Only those with the hunger can pass the test. I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm whipping up ways to reach success. Don't need no handouts, I got finesse. You want a slice of this, then pay attention. I'm serving the knowledge, no need to mention. I got flavors on flavors, a buffet of skill. From hustle to vision, I'm serving with will. Every meal's a lesson, played it with care. But don't bite if you ain't ready to prepare. I'm cooking with purpose, got goals in the pot. It's for those who grind, for those who got. If you hungry for change, then grab a plate. But if you here for free, you gon' have to wait. I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepared was made just for you. Feast up, I keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. The kitchen's hot, I'm mixing up fate. Serving every plate with purpose and grace. Life's a feast, but only if you're down to dine. Can't play with crumbs if you want a slice of mine. I bring the fire, the lessons are steaming. Stop playing small, get in, start dreaming. This table ain't set for those who slack. I give you food for action. I give you food for action. The kitchen's hot, I'm mixing up fate, serving every plate with purpose and grace. Life's a feast, but only if you're down to dine. Can't play with crumbs if you want a slice of mine. I bring the fire, the lessons are steaming. Stop playing small, get in, start dreaming. This table ain't set for those who slack. Every law they made, trying to trap us inside. But I broke through the chains, wouldn't let that slide. They said stay alive, but I got my own path. Did the math on their rules and saw what they lacked.
All right, family. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video right there. It was one of my first videos. And as you can see, it was a blend of different things. So it was 3D animation, and it was right at the beginning of when I started using AI technology. So part of the scenes with Hustle Bear, matter of fact, let me pull up right here. So we have Hustle Bear and we have Hustleberry right here. So those are two of my AI avatars. So Hustle Bear, rapper, Hustleberry, she rap and she sing. But in a couple of scenes like this right here, this was an AI generated background that I used. And back then, the technology wasn't as great as it was now. Of course, things is getting a lot better, but I wanted to merge and blend the things together because, like I said, I see most people they use they get drawn into the new technology. Let's say that, right? So people start using the new technology and then they tend to try to act like they forget about the old technology. Like, what happened to 3D animation? Like, people act like that doesn't exist anymore. There's more to life than just the new things. We still need to, respect the old guard, so to speak. So I wanted to make sure that I was blending things together. And 3D animation is something that I still love to do. It's something that I learned how to do. So it was another skill set, something that, allowed me to be hands-on and, direct, be a director. This picture right here, this scene right here was another picture created with AI. And of course, I wouldn't have been able to find this picture in like a Pexels or Pixabay.com, which, you can find a lot of royalty-free pictures and things like that. But I decided that I wanted to create my own pictures. And along with that, being a content creator, if you are a content creator yourself, you understand the value in having something that you created yourself, especially when it comes to visuals and music and sound. One of the things that I learned early on is, you can use somebody's music, but then what if you get hit with that copyright infringement? Or what if you start to go viral with that sound and then, you thinking that you're going to get some commissions or, some royalties, so to speak, off of it. And then somebody else, you get a message from your Facebook or whatever platform you're on, and it says something like, this right here has been flagged. You are splitting royalties with BMI or whoever else because you decided to share a famous artist's song or use that in your post. So me personally, I'm like, okay, let me do the work. Since I have the ability to, since I enjoy being a content creator, let me create my own music that I can use so I don't have to worry about infringing on anybody else's. And that comes with just me personally. I was raised as an only child, so I played by myself for the most part, and you know, whatever I had to do by myself. So self-reliant, raised by a single mother, always been self-reliant. So that's how I look at life overall. So it's nothing for me to put in the work or to see something, see a gray area and say, hey, that's some place that I can actually fill a void. So that's one of the things that, I'm very big on is, once again, doing the work, doing the things that most other people won't, so that I can have the things that most other people won't, right? I know you heard that saying. It was put a little bit differently, but you know, in order to have the things tomorrow that you don't have today, you have to be willing to do the things today that most other people are not willing to do. Because those people that aren't willing to put in the work today, then not only will they not have what they want later on in life, but I feel as though they don't deserve to have those things if you're not willing to work for it and put in the work for it and the effort. That's just the way I look at things. So I want to move on to the next video that I want to play for you guys. And I feel like when I think about it, I think about, verses. And I know with verses, everybody has, they probably have their song playlists laid out. But me personally, I didn't put it together. I don't have my strong 20 list that I want one after the other after the other. But I think I might know where I want to go to next. Since we played a Hustle Bear song, I want to play a Hustle Berry song so that you can get a vibe for Hustle Berry. And I'm just going to type in the title of that song because I have so many pieces of content on my laptop, right? I'll be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and I won't find it. So this one right here was a song that I created back when I was just thinking about how building an online business is pretty tough and how you try to share information with people on a daily basis. And a lot of times people will ignore you. People will ignore you. They'll, they'll click out before you get to your main point. Or people that they'll clock out on the information. They want the fast instant gratification. They want the fast moving pictures. Like even right now, some people might be like, hey, I can't sit still for this amount of time. I can't look at the same background for longer than 3 seconds. That's a problem. If you don't have patience and the ability to focus and to be able to sit still and to, you know, engage in helpful information, then you're not going to be successful in the online space or the online world. So this particular song that was created for Hustleberry is called Clicked Out Before Clarity. And it's about those type of people who, you know, they never stay long enough. They never put in enough work long enough in order to get their breakthrough. So once again, like I said, this is strong 44. How many weeks will it take for me to, go viral or whatever? Or it might take more months, might take a few more years, but am I built to put in that work? Yeah, I am. I've been putting in work consistently, doing this thing for well over 10 years. So about 15 years. It's something that I'm passionate about. And it's something that, I like to link with other people who have similar passion and who want to actually build something, as I call it, something that's built for longevity. Not jumping around here and there, not starting and quitting, but starting and continuing until, you know, the journey is done, which the journey is never done until, once again, the clock strikes zero. So let's play this video, this Hustleberry video. And it's one of my earlier ones also. So this one says it was created May 25th, 2025. So let's get into it. And it's another blend. It's 3D animated mixed with AI. So hopefully you guys enjoy.
They didn't even stay long enough to understand. Clicked out when it got deep, when it got real. You ever try to save someone? That bounce before the blessing. She clicked before clarity, left before the gold. Scanned my headline, but never saw the soul. Skipped the substance, scrolled past the gems, and said it's a scam without us even begin. I was teaching how to build, how to see past doubt, but she clicked away quick, now she's still burnt out. Tried to show her how the funnel's more than a pitch. It's a doorway to freedom, not a bait and switch. They want magic in a meme, riches in a reel, but skip the message that could make it all real. I wasn't trying to sell, I was trying to free, but she left before the part that explained me. They clicked out before clarity, judged the frame, missed the rarity. All I wanted was to light the spark, but they bounced before I reached their hearts. Clicked out before clarity, missed the map, lost in parody. Scrolling for truth, but they fear the depth. I speak life, even in one breath. Sis, I wrote that line for the girl you used to be, the one who doubted but dreamed secretly. Each word was a mirror, not a trap, but you backed out fast, never bridged that gap. Said I don't need no training, I know this game, but how you playing if you stuck in shame? I was dropping gems and I the artist sponders. You were ghosting truth for pretty sponsors. I don't need your likes, I needed your growth, but you ghosted me and yourself both. I ain't mad, I've done that too. Clicked out of myself before breaking through. They clicked out before clarity, judged the frame, missed the rarity. All I wanted was to light the spark, but they bounced before I reached their heart. Clicked out before clarity, missed the map, lost in parody. Scrolling for truth, but they fear the depth. I speak life, even in one breath. This ain't for the viral, this for the awake, for the queens who stayed, even through the ache, who watched the whole vid, read the whole mail, built their list slow, but knew they'd prevail. You can't click your way to confidence, can't skip the pain or filter the consequence, but if you sit with truth and let it land, that's where queens rise and take command. So if you're still here, I honor your seat. You didn't click out, you chose to meet. And when clarity came with its quiet spark, you didn't run, you lit the dark. They clicked out before the answer. But you stayed. You heard. And now it's yours. Clarity. Ain't for the crowd. It's for the chosen.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that video right there. And as you can see in the closing part right here, this is from one of my earlier or first AI generated albums. This one right here, the album is titled Split Test. And matter of fact, it will be an album that's featured inside the Hustleverse. So if you want access to that specific album, it was one of the first ones that I created, then, comment split, SPLIT, or, just comment album, and I'll share with you how you can actually get access to this particular album. So technology has developed and grown and gotten a lot better since this particular, album was created. So I'm liking the way things are going. I'm liking the way the progression is. AI is moving at almost the speed of light, and I'm right here ready for all of the developments and excited by all of the new possibilities that it brings on a daily basis. So The next thing I want to go to is this. I'm scrolling through, and I think about what I used to think about in the beginning of my online journey and how everything was kind of money related, money generated. And in my thoughts, I always wanted to make a lot of money in the industry. But then it came to a point where I started to understand that it's a tough industry. It's tougher for some people than it is for others. I'm gonna be honest. Some people have it a little bit easier than others, and you know that's also another a human nature thing. Um, but it's also a skill set thing. Skill set is a big determining factor as to whether or not you'll be successful. Now, in the beginning, there was certain things that I wasn't willing to do. It was some things that, personally, my anxiety about certain things, it kept me from reaching the level that I possibly could have reached back then. Being a little bit more outgoing, being more willing to be on camera, do lives, right? So remember, it's been less than a year that I've been doing consistent live videos. Just imagine if I had started being consistent 5 years ago, 10 years ago, then, the progression, where would I be at today? But of course, we have to look at things in all aspects of how things could have went. If I started way back then maybe I would have been more reluctant to get into AI or 3D animation. Maybe I would have just stuck with going live and less with content creation, right? From a creative standpoint, using 3D animation tools and all kinds of other stuff. So I look at it as, hey, is the path, the journey that I went on, and it led me to where I'm at today. And hopefully tomorrow, it'll lead me to an even better place. So I'm looking, I'm scrolling, and I want to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective. So we're going to do a break from music, right? And I want to show you just another type of content. Trying to find something that's not too long. I got a lot of things that were made and built for, let's say, intermission purposes. And there's so many things. Let's see. So if I take it back to earlier in my journey, like I said, it was a lot more 3D animation filled, but it's a lot of that too. It's a lot of content to be able to pull from. Let's see. Hmm. So when I think about it, right, of course, the purpose of what I make content for is to build an online business. So my specific niche is affiliate marketing. And in affiliate marketing, um, it's based off of you promoting products and services. Now, they could be physical products, they can be digital products, whatever type of products that you want. And one of my biggest issues in the industry is that some people make it like a really narrow minded type of opportunity. They stick to one specific niche and they look at it as that's the only thing available. So let's say specifically, let's say make money from home. A lot of people get into the industry not having made money from home, but then thinking that they can teach people how to make money from home. And that's kind of that's kind of crazy to me because you can't really teach something that you haven't really done yourself. You can, yes, guide somebody to the information so that they can learn, but that's guiding the person to the information. So if you have a training course or something that's designed to help a person and it's based off of, let's say, a person that's made millions using this particular method, then that's one thing. Then you can be a guide, somebody that, coaches and mentors and guides people in the right direction so that they find that helpful information that could possibly help them earn an income from home, right? All of this is possible. This is possible. It's not guaranteed. When it comes to making money online, once again, nothing is guaranteed. So me, I like to stick with sharing and discussing things that I can kind of personally guarantee. So with what I've showed you so far, if you said, "Hey, I want to learn how to create 3D animated videos." Okay, I can guarantee you a tool that will create the videos for you. I can provide training that will teach you and guarantee you that you will be taught how to do it. Now, the variable part is whether or not you're going to look at the information and you're going to take action on that information. So if you take action on it, then yes, you will be able to create videos. And that's almost 100% guarantee. But I can't tell you that, I'm going to help you make money from home and you are going to make money from home because I can't guarantee that. That requires external forces. That requires you connecting with the right person that likes what it is that you have to offer. Now, the only way I can guarantee that you're going to make some money, I hate to put it this way, but you know, where I'm from, the only way that I could guarantee you that you're going to make some money if you do what I tell you to do is, you know, if we were to do something criminal minded, let's say we walk in together and we decide to take part in some criminal activity that's going to guarantee that we result in getting some money out of that activity. But of course, with those type of activities, it comes with the negative outset. So you have to be willing to accept the consequences based off of those type of actions. So those the only type of situations where I know of that a person can guarantee you or almost 100% guarantee you that you're going to see some money at the end, right? But we don't take those routes. We take legal actions, legal actions that requires work, that requires a specific type of work ethic, constantly putting in the work and doing the right things to make the possibility of making money happen. So let's see here. I'm doing some searching right now, and there's a specific video that I'm looking for, right? Okay, now this one, like I said, is a little bit of a break from the music, but it just shows I just want to share with you guys my creative side, my, you know, not so serious side. It's serious, but it's not so serious, right? So I like to have fun. I like to create things that's different from what other people create. And I think this one right here is a good representation of, kind of how my mind works and how, I just like to have fun and enjoy myself. So if you're the type of person that like to have fun and that want to build with someone that enjoys, being lighthearted, being real, then maybe you might like this. Hey, bro, why you never want to put on a shirt? Don't you know God is watching?
Hey yo, son, come on, son. He cool with it and everything. Stop being a hater, yo. You just mad because I walk around here, I got my chest sticking out, yeah, all the women around, all the women around here want me and everything, son. Stop hating.
Straight shooter, please report to God's office.
Come on, bro. You got the kids calling you down to God's office now? That's the stuff I'm talking about.
Straight shooter, it's good to see you today. God gave me specific instructions to give to you, and it goes like this. He is going to be sending you down to earth. But this time you won't be starting out as a baby, and you get to keep your memory. You leave in the next 2 hours.
So what happened? I know he probably banned you from hanging out with Pac, didn't
he? See, that's your problem, son. See, that's that stuff that you be on, yeah. See, you don't even know what you be talking about, son. I went up in there, and he was cool with it. Matter of fact, what he said was he sending me back down to earth, and I ain't even got to start off as a baby, son. I don't even have to start off as a baby. I could start off as a full grown human and everything, son. So, yeah, and I get to keep my memory. Hey, yo, God, I'm ready to go back down there. Yeah, this is my first time. I'm excited. Is there anything I need to know before I go?
Bro, I'm telling you, just put a shirt on.
You feel that weight on your shoulders, don't you? That pressure? That burden? Yeah, I know it well, my brother. It's the same weight I carry. But this weight, it's not yours alone. It's the weight of every soul that fought for us. Every man and woman who bled and died so we could rise. But they ain't done yet. And I ain't done yet either. I need you to stand. Straight shooter, welcome to Earth. I trust you will make the right decisions.
Oh, no doubt, God. You ain't got to worry about me. I'm going to do my thing down here. I'm going to make it pop. So we going to get this straightened out. Oh, shit. Pac, you here with me?
I'm sitting in the dark, shadows all around me, heavy on my chest, the weight trying to drown me. The world's gone cold, I can't see the light, fighting with these.
All right. I'm gonna cut it off right there. I'm not gonna play the whole rest of the song on that one right there. But that one right there was one of my earlier creations, and it was just having some fun. It was inspired by, of course, you know, one of my first mentors. It was inspired by, you know, just wanting to have some fun. It was inspired by just the thought and the idea and the concept of we were, what if once when we leave this earth, we go to a better place. And what if we had the ability to come back? Now, a lot of people they live their lives on what they think is the first time around, right? Or the only time, the only chance and opportunity that we get, right? And we don't do the right things. We don't take advantage of everything that we have the opportunity to take advantage of. And once when that clock strikes zero, it's over. Now, but what if you had the opportunity, like straight shooter, you up there, You in heaven, hopefully, and you get to come back. But you don't have to start off as a baby. You get to start off as a full adult. You get to keep your memory. What would you actually do if you had that ability? Would you do things a little bit different than it was when, you know, what you thought was your first and only time around? And those are the type of thoughts that I have. And those type of thoughts lead me to not wanting to waste a moment, not wanting to see an opportunity and then hesitate on it like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Or, I'm going to do it tomorrow, or I'm going to do it next week, or, I'm going to plan, plot, strategize on it for months and months and years until, the time is right, because the time may never be right. So that right there represents a few things. It represents my mindset on how life can be very short, and you never know. You never know when it's going to hit that zero. And if you don't take advantage of everything that's available, like right now, I got my blinds open. I'm still able to, see outside. I'm looking at the trees. I'm looking at the traffic go by. That right there, for some people, they take it for granted. Hey, it's just, traffic and it's trees and leaves and stuff like that. But what if, everything is over and you never get to experience that again? So what I say to that is, if you look and you see the trees and the cars going by, whatever, don't just neglect the fact that you have the ability to look at that. Take a couple of moments, go stand outside or whatever, stare at it for a little bit. Take it all in. Let the air hit you. Feel how it feels to have the wind blow, and how the wind gets strong as the cars go by. Whatever the smell is in the air, whether it's fresh air, or, you know, maybe it's not. But appreciate those type of situations and having the ability to do that. So that was one of those type of situations that, I was thinking about when I created that video. It was just the idea that things could be over in a flash. And me personally, once again, I'm looking to take advantage of everything that I possibly can. I hear a lot of times when people say, hey, that jack of all trade, master of none type of mentality. Yeah, I understand. But, you know, if you stay focused on one particular aspect of life and you master that one particular aspect, you can be happy with that. You can be happy just, experiencing that one thing. But if you're neglecting 9 other things that you also had a passion for, and you like, man, I'm just going to let that dream and let that goal die, then you've only lived 10% of your life, in my opinion. Yeah, you've mastered one, but you neglected the other 9. And that's still, that's not a great way to be. That's not a great way to be. I'd rather be a jack of all the trades that I care about than a full master of one, because I would never know what it is that, fully completes me. And that's what you have to look at too. You might try all 9 or all 10 things and then find that, hey, well, I did this, I did enough of it to know, hey, it's cool, but I want to stick with this one specific thing. Now, if you do it that way, that's cool. Try as many things as you possibly can so that you can identify what resonates with you personally, and then you stick with that thing. So I believe that's something that I've actually done in my journey. I've looked at everything that I have the opportunity to do, and I've settled on some specific things that I really love to do and that I enjoy doing on a daily basis. So if I didn't decide 44 weeks ago to do a live, something that I was nervous about doing, then I wouldn't have got to the point where every day I look forward to going live and sharing the information and the things that's on my mind, right? So let's move on to the next thing that we have available. Let me see. I have like 3 different files up. So I have 3 different or so sections that I'm looking at that I have content stored in. And right now, I'm gonna take it back to the music. I'm gonna take it back to the music, and let me scroll back to the beginning. And let's see what we got now. Let me see. Let me see what we want to go with. Got a couple of different straight shooter videos that make me laugh. The idea was to use straight shooter as what they call a hero character. So kind of like how your favorite companies have their heroes, as I often mention about, let's say like your insurance companies, they're very well known for having their specific heroes. So Geico with the Gecko, Progressive with Flo and Jamie and the other characters, State Farm with Jake, you know, those are some of the top-notch companies, and they're top-notch because why? They've created their own heroes. And 9 times out of 10, like we talk about and we teach in online marketing, people don't buy products and services, really. Yes, they purchase those products and services, but if there's 10 different brands of bread on the shelf, if you've never tasted any of those particular breads and they're all the same, then the one determining factor is going to be the one that you recognize from a marketing standpoint. Now, if one of those breads have a particular character that you see a commercial for and that character is funny or that character is mean or whatever type of characteristic that character has and it vibes with you, then more than likely you're going to pick up that brand of bread. Not specifically because that brand of bread is the best. You can see one that says, hey, it's all natural, whole grain, and blah, blah, blah. But if it doesn't have an attractive story or an attractive hero that speaks to you, then you might not even give it a chance. So that's a prime example of how sometimes the best option for you is not always the one that you choose. Like me personally, little petty moment right now. Once again, I feel like I'm the best, one of the best in the world at what I do when it comes to this online marketing. But you might not necessarily decide to partner with me because you think somebody else is the best. And that could be because they've marketed themselves better as being the hero. They've presented themselves in a specific way that you're attracted to. And that's cool. That's all on you to find the right hero in your story. And sometimes, some people they might pick the wrong heroes. Unfortunately, some people pick the wrong heroes. And, you know, they get stuck in the same situation over and over and over again because they decided to partner with the wrong people. And it is what it is. But this particular video that I want to share with you guys now, it kind of goes a little bit deeper into the idea of the clock ticking down, the clock striking zero. When there's no more time left, you don't get to do it all over again. So this is another one of my earlier videos. Um, the name of this song is "The Clock Keeps Ticking." It's a 3D animated one with the mix of, AI backgrounds and assistants and stuff like that. But hopefully you guys enjoy this one, and hopefully it speaks to you in a way that motivates you and inspires you to take action on whatever it is that you might be neglecting. Whether it is a business opportunity or it could be a specific relationship. It could be, reconnecting with that loved one, getting back together with family members, or, that whatever other type of relationship that you've been neglecting and that the clock is ticking on, and that you should, that you would possibly regret if you never got the chance again to reconnect. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And I would tell you the exact date that this was created. Let me see if it tells me. So this one, it says, matter of fact, created January 1st, 2025. So well over a year ago. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one.
We met in spring, love bloomed so bright. Dreams intertwined beneath the moonlight. But there were careers to chase, bills to pay. We promised we'd make time someday. I worked late while you stayed home. Our love stretched thin, left to roam. You say, let's change, let's rearrange. I'd reply, someday soon we'll make the exchange. And the clock keeps ticking, the moments fade. Promises linger, yet time betrayed. When will we find our way? I don't know when, but we'll make it someday, my friend. You know we'll get it right again. Years went by, and I saw the strain. You built a world while I chased my lane. You've changed, you whispered, your voice so low, but I stayed the same, afraid to let go. You asked for nights beneath the stars. I was chasing dreams that seemed so far. You begged, let's pause, let's take a chance. I said tomorrow, I'll make it last. And the clock keeps ticking, the moments fade. Promises linger, yet time betrayed. When will we find our way? I don't know when, but we'll make it someday, my friend. You know we'll get it right again. The house grew quiet, the laughter dimmed. Our love, a memory on a fading film. I tried to change, but you stayed still, caught in a cycle neither could fulfill. I reached for you, but the gap had grown. Two hearts beating a house of stone. Now the years have slipped like grains of sand. I stand alone, reaching for your hand. Called you up just the other day. I'd love to see you, but you turned away. My life's too full, there's no room to bend. It's good to hear from you though, my friend. I hung up, knowing what we lost. Time the thief, and we paid the cost. And the clock keeps ticking, the moments fade. Promises linger, yet time betrayed. When will we find our way? I don't know when, but we'll make it someday, my friend. You know we'll get it right. Cloudy days and love misplaced. Years of longing we can't erase. If only we'd start to see love needs time to truly be. Now I watch the clock and wonder when, but it's too late to start again. cloudy days and love misplaced, years of longing we can't erase. If only we'd stop to see love needs time to truly be. Now I watch the clock and wonder when, but it's too late to start again.
All right, family. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video right there. It's a little bit different from, you know, I'm not all hip hop. I'm 95% hip hop, 5% just about everything else, right? But it's one of my favorite songs because it has a powerful and strong message. It's one of those things that really speak to me because once again, I'm big on, looking at life and, saying to yourself, hey, what is it that I need to be doing? What is it that I need to be focused on? What's really important? And taking action once again on those things. That's really important. So it's one of the earlier songs that I created, earlier videos that I created, but it's still one of my favorites. Even if, I get better at creating the content and I create more and more new music, I still have some of my favorites. Like I was saying before, some people, they start using the new stuff and then they start neglecting the old stuff as if, that's no longer valuable. But I don't look at that like that. I still even when it comes to TV shows and movies, I'm still watching it in the heat of the night. I still watch, you know, Little House on the Prairie. So when when it comes to being diverse, I don't think you'll find somebody more diverse than me when it comes to, you know, uh various things. Being open-minded enough to look at situations, to examine these situations, and to make my own decisions based off of the information that I've received, right? So always be open to knowledge and looking at life in a different way and to hearing different types of sounds. Some people, you know, they might say, I only listen to rap music. Okay, but there's like how many other genres of music, or they only listen to a specific type of rap music. If it doesn't involve shoot 'em up, bang bang, or a lot of profanity, then they might consider that to be corny. That's a specific mindset right there, right? So everybody's a little bit different. And me, I like to I like to be creative. I'm more of a creative thinker. I tell my brother a lot of times that, I'm kind of like I'm like Andre 3000. I'm more like Andre 3000 when it comes to this thing. I like to, man, hang out by myself. You might find me, playing the flute or something like that, you know? It's like it is what it is. I like peace. I like drama free and I like to just be around good people. So let's see what we have next. So much stuff that I could pull from, and I'm thinking about the time. I'm looking at the time. It's 10:30 a.m. EST time, so we've been going for an hour and a half. And like I said, I know a lot of people they don't have the attention span or even more so the availability. But I got the time. I'm enjoying myself, and I want to continue the celebration. And let's see what we got. Let's see what we going. Okay, so we already was introduced to Straight Shooter, right? And I just came across another video of his, and it's, right after he landed. So he landed, he came back to Earth, and You know, he's starting to explore and see what's going on in the world. So let's play that video real quick.
Yeah, all right, son. So yeah. Now I'm back on Earth, son. So yeah, they let the wrong one out. They let the wrong one out of heaven this time, son. So yeah. We about to get into some stuff. What, yo? Why everybody frozen around here? Yo, what you just standing around for? What's going on? Yo, why ain't nobody moving?
Straight shooter. Now that you are back on Earth, we have to start you out slowly. That means you will be in observer mode. That means when you move, time stops, and when you stay still, time moves. The purpose of this is to limit your possible interference in the world.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's how we playing around here. Okay, all right. I'll play along for now. But when I get full access, you know, we gonna get some action going on in here. I'll play by your rules for now. Let's go.
Welcome to Animated Life. Your world is waiting.
Yeah, so I like that character. Straight shooter represents, you know, it represents New York to me. It represents Long Island to me. You know, some people that I know of, some people that, you know, real life type of people in a way. You know, that tone, that voice, the, you know, it just brings me back to home, right? So early days, early years and stuff like that. But yeah, straight shooter is on Earth, and you know he doesn't have full access to be able to do whatever it is that he want, and that's a good thing because sometimes, you know, just like in everyday life, some people need to be limited on what it is that they have access to. Some people need to be locked out until they're fully prepared, or fully, you know, are in a good state of mind and enough to be unleashed or to be able to be invited to join, you know, the world or the community. And you know, I get lessons from everything, every aspect of life I pull from. So I think about, you know, how I take everything back to online marketing and building a business. There's always a doorway. I talk about this in a few of my lives. You get the opportunity to be a part of something. And let's say the introduction is that free training, right? So you might see on social media, you see a post that says, "Hey, join me for this free live training where I will teach you how to do this, that, and the third." And people get excited. They want to comment, yes, interested or ready or whatever it is, right? And they think that just because they said that they're ready, just because they click a link, they put their name and their email and you know, they show up, that they actually qualify to start the business. No, you have to, you know, you have to go through the paces. You have to qualify. You have to be qualified in order to actually do the opportunity. And some people will get mad, like they'll get upset once when the training is on and then they find out that okay, it's going to require you to purchase specific tools that's going to help you build your online business. They get mad and they say, well, I thought this was supposed to be free. Well, the training was free. Like, you don't just get free range of doing whatever it is that you want. You don't get everything that you want for free. You don't deserve to get it all for free. It's like it's like nature. Like I said, looking at the trees outside, I understand how nature works. The tree didn't just get there or just deserve to be there. The tree was planted. there was some seeds put in the ground, and that tree had to grow up to be a tree, just like you. And whatever it is that you decide to do, you have to plant the seeds in order to, you know, become a full-fledged tree. Or some people might only grow up to be a bush, but still, in any event, it still has to be some seeds planted in order to get to that level. And seeds can also be interpreted as time and financial investment. If you invest money into yourself, into your growth and development, if you purchase the right seeds, if you purchase, the right soil, the right fertilizer, because you're going to need these things in order to make sure that you grow into a healthy bush or a strong tree. You don't just get to be here and just grow strong and just be profitable just because you want it, just because you say you want it. That's like a wishing and hoping type of mentality. And I look at that and I say, man, that's wild. That's wild that people think that they're supposed to get everything for free online. Whereas, you know, in the real world, if you was to start a traditional business, you're looking at tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars in order to start a business that has all of the aspects and all of the features that you're expecting from an online business for free. And that's nuts to me. That's absolutely crazy. But a lot of people think like that. But that's why I say all the time, and my mentors say it, and every successful person online or in business as a whole says, mentality is one of the major determining factors as to whether a person will be successful or not. It's not your physical strength. It's not how much you can bench press or whatever. It's not this, that, or the third physically. It's a lot more mental than anything else. So just like straight shooter, he has to get in the right mindset because now he's walking around, he's excited. And a lot of people like straight shooter, they ready to wreak havoc. He walking around, he ain't got no shirt on. He ready to engage with people. He don't even know what to say. He might say the wrong thing. No, no, you have to slowly get into the groove. We have to make sure that you're not crazy and that you're not going to come and just destroy the system, right? So that's how your online business has to be, and that's how you have to run your life. You have to prepare yourself and invest in yourself. Now, the next video that I want to share with you guys, it's it's a personal one. It's about uh my earlier journey before I kind of committed to, well, at the same time, in the midst of me committing to my online journey. So in the real world, I worked a few different jobs. I've done a few different things. I've had my own brick and mortar business over 23 years ago, over 20 something years ago is when I started my first real brick and mortar business, right? But after that, I actually was in the work field. I was doing things. And one particular company that I work for, it has a special place in my heart because it allowed me to, be more outgoing and be able to reach a lot more people than I was normally able to connect with. So this particular job allowed me to meet hundreds of people, not over the phone, not on the laptop, not, typing messages back and forth to people, but physically in their face to face, not just face to face, but in their homes, in their houses, providing the service. So when I tell you guys that I've done a lot of different things, I didn't have tunnel vision and just focus on one area of life. I've done a lot of different things that has brought me to this point. So this particular song right here was inspired by one of my earlier jobs where I was known as the Schwann's Man. So with that particular company, it's no longer in business, but for decades and decades, it was a household name, and the company provided, it served the community, provided food, frozen food and desserts all around the country here in the United States, depending on where you are watching from. Here in the United States, this company was a well-known company. I didn't know about it until I actually moved here to Virginia. But once when I found out about it and how loved and how respected the Schwann's man was, it opened up a whole new world for me. Whereas, I got to see things and experience things that most other people wouldn't get to experience, if it wasn't for the fact that I had that Schwann's uniform on. And I tell you, I've experienced some stuff and been allowed to see some stuff as a spectator, kind of like a news reporter. I felt kind of like a news reporter. There was crimes going on, there was all kinds of things, mayhem and stuff going on around me, but nobody messes with the news reporter or the cameraman. They're just here to report, you know. Everybody just running around them, doing whatever it is that they do. The news reporter is just the fixture. So in a lot of situations, I was able to witness certain things as a innocent bystander, so to speak. Some story I won't even tell you guys some stories like that. But um this right here, the name of this song is called Death of the Schwann's Man.
7 2 years, now they shut the doors. If they ain't safe, what you waiting for? I seen them fall, thought they had it locked. Yellow trucks, now abandoned lots. Back in the day, I was riding through 70 stops, had to push it too. 6 a.m. load up, route set. 11 p.m. still chasing that check. Commission low, had to stack it right. 1%, man, that ain't my life. Told myself, gotta find a way. Can't be grinding just to fade away. Hustling forever, better have a plan. Job ain't safe, better understand. Money move fast, better catch the wave. Or get left when they dig your grave. 10 p.m. truck lit in flames. Highway burning, but I played the game. Walmart driver ran with the spray. Saved my life, gave him steaks that day. That was the sign, had to make that shift. Couldn't be stuck in a cycle that's flipped. Watched them rebrand, watched them fall. Saw the warning, now I'm standing tall. They ain't adapt, they ain't changed. Now they gone, only got their name. Same with jobs, same with checks. If you ain't building, you could be next. Hustling forever, better have a plan. Job ain't safe, better understand. Money move fast, better catch the wave. Or get left when they dig your grave. I seen it firsthand out in the cold. Knocking on doors, trying to get them sold. People ain't home, food don't move. Still gotta grind, still gotta prove. They set the rules, we play along till they switch up and say you gone. I ain't waiting for no pink slip. I took control, now watch me flip. Now I move smart, money come right. Learn new skills, change my life. While they clock in, I build my wealth. No more begging, did it myself. Sick of the cycle, breaking the chains. Tired of stress, tired of games. Now I teach what I done learned. So you ain't gotta wait your turn. Wake up now, don't wait too late. You see the signs, don't share their fate. 7 2 years, wiped away. Only the strong ones find a way. Hustling forever, better have a plan. Job ain't safe, better understand. Money move fast, better catch the wave. Or get left when they dig your grave. So what's the move? You stay or grow. Play it safe or take control. Ain't no luck, it's what you learn. Build it now or watch it burn.
All right, so that one was a short one, but that one right there, that's still one of my favorite songs too. Um, because it's a factual song. So as you can see right here in the lyrics, 72 years. Now they shut the doors. So that company was in business for 72 years, and they actually went out of business last year. I think maybe January or so of last year. So it's been a little while since they actually shut their doors, but 72 years of being a staple, of being a household name, of serving the community. Um, their business model was, you see this yellow truck right here riding up and down your road, frozen food on the truck, selling food from anywhere from 8 in the morning to the latest I've been out. It's been like 11 o'clock at night, you know, knocking on your door. Like I'm saying, who else would you who else would you allow to come to your house at 10, 11 o'clock at night selling food? Like, who does that? Who does that? Nobody but the Schwans, man. Nobody but the Schwans, man. It's been plenty of times I showed up at people's house after 9 o'clock. Me in the beginning of that particular journey, I'm thinking to myself, like, uh, 7 o'clock might be the cutoff, or before, depending on what time of the year, you know, it start getting dark. Like, hey, who's showing up at somebody's house? And then, just finding out from the people that, they come to expect you. They come to expect you. Some people, they want you to come to their house that late. Maybe they don't get off of work until, a certain time. And when it comes to something like food, being able to have, uh, to be able to avoid going to the grocery store and having your food delivered to your house because maybe you work a 12-hour shift and you gone all day long, and then you have somebody show up at your house once when you get home, and all you got to do is just step outside your house. And we had the lights on the side of the truck, so even though it's pitch dark outside, the lights come on, open up the doors, it's lit up in there. Yeah, I want steaks, I want vegetables, I want ice cream, I want key lime pie, whatever it is. And they able to shop, do their food shopping right there with you, and go back in the house. That's an amazing experience. And like I said, it's something that I never knew about until I actually started that particular job. But once again, that was a rare type of situation. And I don't know of too many companies that would actually, have their employees or have their business run like that, door to door, going to customers' houses. And me personally, here in Virginia, I would go to they would send me to the unsafe neighborhood, so to speak. So anybody here in Richmond, Virginia, I was serving all of the courts. So Mosby, Wickham, Fairfield, I was in those places 10, 11 o'clock at night. I was in those places the first of the month. We took EBT or food stamps or whatever. So being in that environment, I was more comfortable in that environment because, I come from that type of environment. I come from the hood. So those type of people that I got to see and meet on a daily basis, those was like my people. So the stuff that I got to see and witness, that it wasn't nothing new to me. Growing up where I grew up at, it wasn't nothing new to me. What was kind of new to me was the some of the nice neighborhoods that I got to service. Some of those people looked at me a little bit weirder than the people, in the hood, in the courts. It's like, I ride through there 10 and 11 o'clock at night, people still outside doing whatever it is that they do. Oh, it's the Schwans, man. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I go to the other neighborhoods or whatever, it's quiet, people inside, nice manicured lawns and stuff like that. You ride through, music low, not bumping the music, but in my hoods that I service, bumping the music. I play my music loud and everything coming through, but different environments, different, target audiences. So it makes me think back to, bringing it back to online marketing, target audiences, different vibe altogether, different presentation. They wanted certain types of foods as compared to what I was selling in other particular areas. So everything started to tie in together. So every experience, every scar has a lesson. And everything that I've learned has brought me to today. So let's see. That just made me think of one of a song that I created. Every scar got instructions, you know? So like I said, every piece of music that I've created has a little bit of my personal life and my personal journey intertwined in it. And let's see where we want to go. Where do we want to go from here? The 30 auto funnels and aftermath. There's so many different things, but one particular song is standing out to me right now. Since we kind of referenced to the album itself, one of my first albums, AI generated albums, Split Test, this particular song kind of sticks out to me. And the name of the song is Split Test the Spirit. So in your online journey, it's going to be a lot of times where you have to split test. You have to test one thing out versus another, see what works. And, I've been doing that for years. So online, offline, like I said, the two different target audiences. You go to one place, you selling this product, that product, and your presentation might be one way. You go somewhere else, presentation might be a little bit different. That's what we call split testing. That's something that, that goes back to, being back home. That goes back to being in the hood, seeing, how things are done. You have your target audience, you split test with how you present yourself to your target audience, and you see what works best. The best salesman was the one that made the most money, not necessarily the one that had the best product, right? So it was the presentation. So let's get into this one. I'm not sure which version of this song is, but it's not too much visual going on this particular song, but it was created, says May 2nd, 2025. So split test the spirit.
I split test headlines, now I'm split testing hope. One version of me say quit, the other still writes code. See which one opens best. I made 2 funnels, both worked fine, but one had my voice, the other sold time. One felt true, the other felt slick. Guess which one clicked? Yeah, the fake one hit. So now I'm asking, do I scale the version that performs, or hold tight to the form that was born through storms? They want pretty pixels, not painful truth. They want instant wins, not long haul proof. But what if I told you, the one that barely performed had the words that saved somebody from being torn? That's the test, can you keep your soul when the split says to sell it just to reach the goal?
I've been split testing the spirit. One side loud, the other don't fear it. One say sell, the other say heal.
I just hope they click the version that's realist.
Got 2 roads, one fast, one deep. One full of likes, one built in peace. I've been split testing the spirit, still trying to see which one goes.
I made a brand around pain I ain't processed. Then I tried to sell it dressed in progress. Put filters on failure, mark up on grief. Made it a lead magnet, now I barely sleep. Cause when the funnel's done, who gon' hug me when the offer close? Who gon' love me? They want the version that scales on a spreadsheet, not the one who cries trying to craft the next lead. But I ain't broken, I'm led and learning. Still open rates while my soul's still burning. I split test headlines, now I split test hope. One version dreams, one barely copes. Do I sell what they want or offer what heals? Do I chase appeal or honor what's real?
I've been split testing the spirit. One side loud, the other don't fear it. One say sell, the other say heal.
I just hope they click the version that's realist.
Got two roads, one fast, one deep. One full of likes, one built in peace. I've been split testing the spirit, still trying to see which river.
I took both versions and merged them whole. One had traffic, the other had soul. Now my offer don't just convert, it connects. Now I write with tears and a check. This ain't about the leads, it's about legacy, about being the blueprint. I need it desperately, so I choose the slow road rooted in truth. Even if it don't chart, it still bears fruit. Now I serve clients who see me for me, not just clickbait words in a world on speed. Split test my style, my words, my tone, but my spirit's one of one. I stand alone. You can tweak the copy, run the stats, but never forget, the most profitable version is the one that don't lie back.
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that song right there. Very deep message, you know, deep message. It's about split testing and, you know, deciding who it is that you are going to be. What type of person are you going to be? What type of marketer are you going to be? And in the beginning of the song, you heard him say, you know, split tested different headlines and different funnels. And a lot of times we often feel as though one version of what we have to share is going to be the one that hit. And then we find out that something else is going to be the one that hits. And I think about it a lot of times, like sometimes I could post something completely unrelated to business. And I'm solely on here for business purposes, right? You know, if I wanted to connect with friends and family and stuff like that, you know, if we was really connected like that, then we would call each other or whatever, blah blah blah. But it seems as though I've posted a few times where it's been like regular stuff, personal, more personal type stuff, and it's gotten more reaction than an actual business post that's designed to grow my business, which is something that's more important to me. And a lot of times, you know, that'll happen to you in your online, you know, journey. You might be promoting a product or service and it's crickets. Either people don't want to engage or they fear engaging, or some people they feel like if they do engage, if they put a like on there, or if they put a comment, then there you go. You about to go, you know, start communicating with them. You're gonna send them a message. Oh, did you like that? Blah blah blah. Some people fear being engaged in those type of situations. They might actually like what you posted, but then it's kind of like, well, I don't want to get them started. I don't want them coming to me asking me if I want to buy this, if I want to try this or that, you know. Understandable. That's another human nature type of situation. So it lets me know that these people they see your posts. They see my posts. It's not, I don't know. I don't know if the algorithm is that crazy. Like it's definitely, well, the algorithm is funny and tricky. It does show what it feels as though the person would be more geared towards liking and commenting on. But you can't tell me that I shared one post and you happen to seen that, but you was on my page and you just ignored all the other posts You didn't see that business post, but you saw that one post of a picture of food or whatever. And that's the one that, okay, you engage with, but then, you know, you know for sure you don't just go to one person's page and just see one thing that they posted. You see multiple things, and then either you exit their page or go somewhere else. But it's a funny type of situation. That's why you always have to be split testing and doing what's necessary in order to build your business. So that's one of my earlier songs that I really do like. And I enjoyed creating that because, you know, the music that I create is geared towards a specific audience. It's for entrepreneurs, it's for people that want to be inspired and motivated and that want something to actually listen to that's going to go with them on their journey. So while you're putting in that work, while you're creating that content, you need something motivating and inspiring in the background, keeping you going so that the time doesn't just sit there like paint drying on a wall, right? Usually music provides that type of situation where, you know, before no time, an hour has gone by, you're doing work, like it helps you pass the time by while you're at work. If you're doing a job that you really don't really, enjoy, but it helps you get through the day. Hmm. Okay, and on that note, I just scrolled up to another song that, I really like, and that has a powerful message. And, I want to play this song for you right here. This one right here is called Expect Pain. That's something that most people avoid. They avoid the painful situations. They avoid, engaging in the opportunity to do something if they feel like it's going to require them to put forth any amount of effort, if it's going to require them to put forth a lot of time, or if it's going to require them to invest financially. They tend to want to avoid that type of pain. And I'm telling you, you can't avoid that type of pain. It's going to be painful. You're going to have to take your doses of pain in one form or another. So just understand that. Now, this particular song or video was created back in June 5th, 2025. So this one right here is a Hustle Bear song, Expect Pain. Okay, family, I'm back at it again with another quick affiliate marketing food for action moment. Now, in this affiliate marketing food for action moment, it's pretty short, sweet, and to the point. I want to start out by saying this. Matter of fact, this isn't the music video. So, my bad on that one. Let me see if I have it. I have it now. Just had to do a little typing in search, you know. To find the right one. I believe. I believe this is it. Okay, family, I'm back at it again with another quick. All right. So. Might not have that particular music video in this section, but it's an amazing song. It's an amazing song. And it might be one that we don't have in this particular section. That's all right though. That's all right. But the next one that I would play in its place, because Expect Pain is something that, see, you got to avoid that. Like I said, most people, they want to avoid the pain, right? I know you don't want to hear anything about, expecting pain, right? So I know you probably feel relieved. You probably feel relieved because you don't have to, you know, get into having to expect that pain. But that's all right. Like I said, it's going to come. It's going to come. And if you avoid it, then what's going to happen is you're going to be in a situation where it's residual versus regret. So I definitely have that music video right here queued up for you. So residual versus regret. If you avoid pain in those painful situations, it's kind of like, okay, you understand that, as it says right here, you know it's going to be pain. How much pain do you imagine a seed is intentionally put under to produce the greatest harvest? Right? So you might think, okay, I'm going to just plant this seed or plant yourself into a certain situation, but then you don't understand that it's going to take some pain and some push on your end for you to actually break out of that ground. So it's not going to be easy. You're not just going to pop up and sprout up. Once again, you're going to have to fight. You're going to have to fight the ground now. You're going to have to go through the pain of stretching and trying to fight through every day to break ground. So that's a situation that you can't avoid. And if you try to avoid it, then you're going to be running from the possibility of earning that residual. And then you'll forever live with regret. Some people, they can live with the fact that they didn't give it their all, or that they avoided the hard parts because they wanted what they thought was going to be the easy life, or they wanted to take the easy way out, but still had to live a hard life because of that. See, that there's a residual versus regret type of situation. If you avoid the hard part, you're going to still run into hard parts in life. So let me play this joint here. Residual versus regret.
Residual or regret. One pays you back, the other just plays you back. You decide. I used to wake up broke, pockets full of pride, scrolling on my phone like I'm trying to find a god. Laughed at the homie selling links in his bio. Now he making bank while I'm drowning in denial. Said that ain't me, I was too cool to try, but being cool ain't fed me when the rent ran high. I had Jordans and regrets, flash with no assets till I saw residual income, and I pressed reset. Now every move got equity tied, every post got purpose inside. I used to spend for attention, now I earn from alignment. Now I'm making what I used to wish in confinement. They say you change, now I just evolve. You stuck on applause, I'm focused on resolve. I don't chase checks, I let them chase me. That's residual regrets, what I used to be. Residual versus regret. One builds, one bleeds. One stacks freedom, one feeds me. Residual versus regret. Pick your lane. One runs forever, the other runs game. You want likes a legacy, comfort a currency. You want sleep or replaying the past on repeat. Residual versus regret, which one gon' eat? I don't post just to post, I post a stack. Turn reels to returns, turn loss into tracks. You scroll for escape, I scroll for stats. You tap for distraction, I tap for stacks. I got pain in my past, but I flipped it a profit. Every score I got, I turned into logic. They fear risk, but regret costs more. You lose time daily, I open new doors. While you waiting on streams, I'm creating systems. While you wishing for clout, I'm building kingdoms. Residual ain't luck, it's design and discipline. Regret don't knock, it just slides and whispering. What if your hustle paid you while you slept? What if your dreams didn't come with debt? You can build now or break later. Residuals patient, regrets a hater. Residual versus regret. One builds, one bleeds. One stacks freedom, one feeds. Residual versus regret. Pick your lane.
One runs forever, the other runs game. You want likes a legacy, comfort or currency. You want sleep or replaying the past on repeat. Residual versus regret, which one gon' eat? The hustle ain't hype, it's habits and time. It's emails, offers, content that climbs. I watch people quit cause it took too long. Now regret that silence every time I'm on. I ain't better, I just bet on my shift. I ain't perfect, I just pivoted quick. So if you're stuck between waiting and winning, just know regret ain't passive, it's prison. Residual versus regret. Every day you choose, one is freedom, the other's just familiar.
All right. So that one right there, once again, was residual versus regret. And that one, that has its own album. So I created an album around that because I felt like that was a powerful message. And a lot of people, they live a residual versus regret type of lifestyle. It's either you work hard, you work towards your goal, or you end up regretting it. Now, you know, it is what it is. You can put in the work, and a lot of people put in the work and they never get to the level of being able to build that residual. Others, they never even start the journey. So they never know what could have possibly happened, right? So that's what actually separates, you know, different people, certain people, one group of people from another group of people. The haves versus the have nots because they never tried or they didn't put forth the effort. And that leads me to another video that's right here, right next to residual versus regret. And I created it around the same time because, you know, it piggybacks off of each other. So with those two type of people, you know, you have to decide who you are in the equation. And me personally, I put myself in what I call that fourth category. So the one that stands out, the one that's not inside the box, right? So this video right here called fourth category, that was created back in June 26th of 2025. And as we start to wind down or close out today's live, I wanted to share with you this video because in about 45 minutes, I'm going to be on the mastermind training. So I want to make sure that I have time to get prepared for that. But I wanted to, give you as much time as possible. And maybe I'll come back later and do another live. I probably, now since I've reached the 60-day threshold on my new profile, I do plan on going live a lot more in that new profile and speaking to the people that, it's a small friends list on it. And like I said in the beginning, when it comes to numbers, it's funny. I only have 44 friends. So there we go with that 44 again, right? I only have 44 friends on that new profile. So hopefully some of those people are the right type of people to speak to. And you know, I'll continue to build on there and also continue to add value on my current profile for the people that really want it, you know. But targeting is everything. So make sure you target right. If you're starting all over, make sure you target the right people. Make sure that you do everything with intention. And this right here, I want to share with you. It's called fourth category. This one, once again, one of the earlier videos. So it's not a 8K cinematic when it comes to the views. This one is more reliant on the AI technology back then. Just like this last one, this residual versus regret was one of the first, AI style videos that I was like creating. But hopefully you enjoy fourth category.
Three types in the game. Most folks play it safe. Chasing open rates, click stats, only looking at the face. Then there's those who cry for size, wanna grow the list to 10, but miss the hidden cues, right under ink and pen. They stop at what's obvious, never question what's beneath. Blind to time and place, they lose the chance for real relief. But I'm in that fourth category, digging past the scene, scan the code, read between, unlock the in-betweens. While they chase the glitter, I chase the gold unseen. Fourth category mindset, rise above routine. I study send times, subject lines, heat maps in my mind. Correlate the patterns, leave no metric left behind. Click percentages tell a tale, but context feeds the plot. I merge the data points, craft a vision they forgot. They bow to glossy numbers, settle for half the truth. I'm mining down for insights, hustle in the booth. But I'm in that fourth category, digging past the scene. Scan the code, read between, unlock the in-between. While they chase the glitter, I chase the gold unseen. Fourth category mindset, rise above routine. No longer fooled by headlines or shallow vanity claims. I sharpen every question, redirect the ball game. Beyond the four walls of metrics, opportunity awaits. In the spaces most ignored, I capitalize on fates. So join the ranks of vision, where the real winners play. Fourth category mindset, lead the path, carve the way. And I'm in that fourth category, digging past the scene. Scan the code, read between, unlock the in-between. While they chase the glitter, I chase the gold unseen. Fourth category mindset, rise above routine.
All right, all right. So fourth category. So as we start to wind down, as I said, I noticed, I've been playing a lot of Hustle Bear, and I haven't given you guys a lot of Hustle Berry. So this right here, these next two is going to be for the ladies, for the ladies. So it made me think about one of the most recent verses uh, with Tank and Tyrese. Yeah, how they said at the beginning, this right here is for the ladies. So we're gonna start off strong with this one right here. So this particular song was inspired by a post that I saw where someone wanted assistance with creating a specific type of picture. They wanted a picture of um it was supposed to be a food type of portrait. They wanted a picture of a man who resembled food. So I believe they are a nutritionist, and it was to go along with promoting whatever product or service they were promoting. So I wanted to take on the challenge of creating the specific picture for them. And then once when I started creating the picture, it gave me all kinds of ideas. So I didn't just stop at the picture, right? Matter of fact, I didn't stop at the picture. I ended up creating some music around that particular picture. And then I said, okay, if I create the music, this would make for a great video. And then I said, okay, not only would it make a great video, but let me make a story book out of it. So I ended up creating some various things based off of this one particular concept, and which started out as a request, a post request. And so this is what came about. One of the songs that I made in that time frame, which was, this is a little bit more recent, I would say. So this was created back in November 17th, 2025. So it's called The Man Made of Cravens. So this one right here for the ladies, and had a little creative direction and that whole idea of what the person that posted wanted. It turned into a whole, type of rabbit hole for me and creativity. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one.
I can feel him before I even see him. This man made of everything I told myself I would stop wanting. Curly fries for hair, cinnamon roll ears, chocolate donut brows dipping low like he knows my weakness.
He's so sweet, he's so warm in my weakness. Dripping on my skin like a promise. Every flavor calling out my name. Tell me what temptation feel honest. He a man made of cravings and he know just what he do. Every step he take toward me, all my willpower comes unglued. Got that chocolate on his lips, camel dripping on the truth. Try to tell myself I'm stronger, but my body saying come through. He a man made of cravings, always pulling at my soul. If desire had a heartbeat, he'd a rhythm taking control. Try to push him out my system, but he melt right in my hold. And I swear I wanna leave him, but he tastes like home. Curly fries hair, and he walk like the night. Chocolate in a stare, tryna pull me in a bite. Cinnamon roll ears, he be whispering delight. And that peanut butter nose got a scent that ignite. S'mores on his lips with the marshmallow smile. He ain't said a single word, but he talking all the while. Got me questioning the choices I've been trying to reconcile. Cause the sweetness hit the soul, yeah, linger and beguile. Every step he take closer, I feel my guard caving. Trying to tell myself stop, but the craving creeping in. I've been fighting off the urge like a battle with my sin. But he looking like indulgence, wearing chocolate on his skin. He the comfort that I lost, he the habit I deny. He the reason for my struggle, he the flavor in my side. And I swear I wanna beat him, but he always get me high. I can feel him in my heartbeat like he's sugar in my veins tonight. Every time I get strong, he appear around the bend. Like he listened to my progress just to tempt me once again. Got his Snickers bar finger sliding soft across my chin. And the warmth from his touch feel like pleasure wearing sin. Vanilla ice cream eyes with the Hershey kiss pupils. Looking to him too long, and my logic get neutral. Every drip from his brow feels seductive and crucial. Like he built from every moment where control feel futile. I've been praying for my balance, trying to keep myself steady. But he smell like midnight promise, saying, girl, you know you ready. Got that fried chicken jawline looking bold and heavy. And his presence tastes familiar like a craving born already. He the ghost of every snack that I swore I would resist. He the memory of pleasure wrapped in caramel on my wrist. And the battle ain't physical, it's temptation in a kiss. Do I love him for a moment, but love myself to exist? I can feel my spirit tremble when he breathes against my skin. But I'm learning that surrender ain't a prize I need to win. Every step that I take back, feel like strength grown within. Cause desire ain't devotion if it break me from within. Yeah, he's sweet like old habits I've been trying to let go. But I'm building up a future that he never gonna know. When I walk away tonight, that's my self-loving control. Cause the fight ain't with the craving, it's the freedom in my soul. So I look him in the face with his small lips so divine. And I whisper you ain't evil, but but you never will be mine. He was made from all the moments where I lost my finish line, but today I found my power and I'm claiming it as mine. Yeah, the sweetness feel familiar, but the woman I become ain't addicted to the flavor that could keep my spirit numb. So we fade into the shadows when I rise into the sun, and temptation loses power when your healing has begun. He a man made of cravings, but tonight I rise above. All the sweetness in his touch couldn't measure to my love. When the hunger starts to pull me, I remember what I made. I'm the woman I am now, ain't afraid to choose enough. He a man made of cravings. 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 Yeah. He's so sweet, he's so warm, he my weakness. But the strongest kind of love is the love I give myself.
He steps toward me, melting, dripping, tempting. His peanut butter cup nose almost touches mine, as if he can smell every promise I've broken. His s'more-shaped lips curl into a smile, and the marshmallow teeth soften when he whispers my name. Part of me wants to run. Part of me wants to taste every piece of him. And that's the problem. He is built from everything I crave and everything that keeps me stuck.
All right. So that one right there, that one right there was, that was pretty deep right there. So that shows we got range over here. So like I said, we have our male AI avatar, Hustle Bear, and we have our female AI avatar, Miss Hustleberry. And that right there, I wanted to create something that was a break from the norm. You hear a lot of R&B music, and I often say this, but you hear a lot of R&B songs, and a lot of times, a good majority of the time, is always about heartbreak. It's always about somebody being done wrong. It seemed like 90+% of the ladies are just singing about bad situations. You would think that, that when it comes to a loving relationship, that it just doesn't exist, or it's just few and far in between, right? But I wanted to provide, a different type of vibe. And that's what AI actually allows you to do. Now, I'm scrolling as I'm listening, and I'm looking at different social media posts, and one of the things that I hate is when I see people who are posting about AI, right? And they're proud of what they do, but then you look in the comments and you have a fucking hater. And excuse my language, but don't excuse my language, because I'm serious about this point right here. You have a hater that always wants to say something negative about somebody creating something that they enjoy. Somebody saying, "Oh, well, you don't have real talent," and this, that, and the third, or they say something non-productive, something deconstructive about what somebody else does. Man, that right there makes me want to get real petty. And if I get petty, I can get real nasty. So I'm not going to do it. But I'm looking at some posts that somebody did, and I see these type of posts a lot, where there's just like this outward hate towards AI content creators. For what reason? Either some people feel like, I understand, they might feel threatened. They might feel like, hey, it's taken from the art of what they do or whatever it is. Cool. But you do you. You do, if you are in the music industry and you make music, you make the best version of music that you make. You make your style of music. And me personally, I try not to take it too personal, because I'm like, okay, well, I see your points. I see your views. I hear your complaints. But at the same time, I'll say, well, the type of music that I make is not for everybody. it's not what I consider to be the cookie cutter style music that you can get from a so-called real artist, right? It's not that type of music. I'm not talking about the same type of content. So it's like I'm not trying to infringe on your particular lane. Like I see a lot of people, they make the same type of music that a real artist could possibly make, right? From a content standpoint. They make the same type of music that you might have heard a real artist make. And in that aspect, it's like, okay, you trying to do what I do. You trying to do what I do as a human or whatever. Cool. I understand if you feel that way. Um, but then I look at like the song that I just created and I just shared with you guys. It's different. It's not it's not like anything else that I've heard. So I'm not trying to remake or be better at this specific thing that somebody else is doing. The whole purpose for me is to carve my own lane, use the technology to create something that speaks to my specific audience, entrepreneurs, people that are looking for positive, upbeat type of music that you don't traditionally or normally get to hear. Now, you don't the average artist, the everyday famous artist, doesn't make music about affiliate marketing, online marketing, split testing, and creating funnels and building an online business. That's not something that they do. So they stay in their lane with creating style or the the niche type of content that they create. And then I try to stay in my lane of what I create. But when I see stuff like, somebody just outright hating on people because they use the tools to create stuff that they like and they enjoy, it makes me feel a little petty about it. And you know, I know it upsets a lot of people. I looked at the comments and the particular post that I saw, and it's just like, some people they really, as I say often, some people are professional fault finders. They look for problems to things that, never really have to be a problem. So as I'm moving towards the end, like I said, man, it's so much more that I could play, but I wanted to put some shine onto Miss Hustleberry. And there's one of her hits that I definitely love, but I'm not even gonna play it right now. I'm gonna save that for another live. But what I am gonna play is one of her one of her other songs that's a major hit, and it's one of the headline songs from her exclusive album Hustle, Tears, and Analytics, which is what I consider to be the album of the year for 2025. So yes, I feel that strongly about that particular AI project, that I feel like the quality of the tools and the sound and stuff, it got to the point at that point where it just sounded, a lot better, a lot clearer. And I put a lot of work into it. And I said, man, when I put together that album, I said, this right here is a album of the year contender. And let me see, I'm gonna just search for it to find a particular song. Because that song was a is a very powerful song that, it's for the people that really put in the work and that actually, they put in the work and sometimes they don't get the results that they want, but they keep grinding, they keep putting in the work. And sometimes, it can make a person, it could kind of break a person down when they don't get the responses or the results that they want. And uh they still push through anyway. They still push through anyway. So this one right here is Hustleberry, and this is Track My Tears in Analytics. Hope you guys enjoy this one.
They say check your analytics, but mine don't show what I paid. It don't show the tears I shed when that funnel broke, or the breakdown before the breakthrough. Scrolling dashboards like confessionals, late night metrics feeling so personal. Conversions low, heart rate high. I prayed on CTAs like they testify. Open rates dipped, so did my hope. Watch my launch tank while pretending to cope. I tracked every click like it meant my worth, but numbers can't count what the silence hurts. Spent weeks on drafts, rewrote my name till I ain't recognize who I became. They say it's just data, but nah, it ain't. That's the blood in my copy and the fear I paint. So if you watching charts while holding back fears, just know you can't track all your tears. Track my tears in analytics. Every ghosted view, every dream I risked. The dashboard don't know what I gave, just what I lost and how I behaved. It don't show hard, it shows the math, but I bled truth in every pass. Track my tears in analytics, but know the real work lives in the cracks. Watch bounce rates rise while my faith dropped. Listen to crickets after every post flopped. Split testing my story, reworking my soul. Turn trauma into hooks just to keep control. A/B tested pain, headlines full of fight. Use fire emojis to mask sleepless nights. I tracked them all, every open, every skip, like a diary written in click-through clips. Told myself this next one's the key, but sometimes your worth don't fit in a CSV. They teach you funnels, forget to teach peace, but I found both when the numbers cease. So don't just sell them proof, sell them truth, even when the metrics feel bulletproof. Track my tears in analytics. Every ghosted view, every dream I risked. The dashboard don't know what I gave, just what I lost and how I behaved. It don't show hard, it shows the math, but I bled truth in every pass. Track my tears in analytics, but know the real work lies in the cracks. You see that spike? That was when I cried. Wrote a post through tears, but the comments lied. That red dip, that's when I ghosted the game. Logged off for days, couldn't stomach the shame. These aren't just clicks, they're fragments of me, mapped in funnels they'll never see. They said keep going, but I needed pause. Wasn't lazy, just obeying the cause. Analytics cold, but my grind was fire. Even when results ain't climb no higher. So if I disappear, don't chart the drop. Just know I rose where the numbers stop. I'm not just data, I'm divine design, built from faith outside the line. Track my tears in analytics. Every ghosted view, every dream I risked. That dashboard don't know what I gave, just what I lost and how I behaved. It don't show heart, it shows the math. But I bled truth in every path. Track my tears in analytics, but know the real work lives in the cracks.
All right, all right. So that one right there, that still is one of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite tracks, one of my favorite Hustleberry tracks, because it's a powerful song and a powerful message. And it's one of those things that a lot of entrepreneurs go through and they experience. Um, just putting forth the effort and might not get the results or the responses that you imagine that you're going to get. Every single day there's you know an attempt to be great, an attempt to do this, that, and the third, right? And you feel as though you're putting forth your best foot, and people don't show up. People don't show up like you think that they should show up. They don't hit the like button. They don't do simple stuff like, press that little free like button. They don't, leave a comment saying, hey, that was a great job. That was a good job. And that's part of the thing that I try to, make sure that I do. When I see somebody post or whatever, I might, if I don't have time to watch the whole thing, depending on how long it is or whatever, you know, I still hit that like. If I, the first beginning parts of it, hey, I hit that like button. I hit that love button. I try to leave a comment that relates to as much of what I saw and what I got from it as possible. And then, that can make a person's day. That can make or break a person's day. Just knowing that, you know, they've put in all this hard work for something that they thought was going to be a hit. And then, it's just like Hustleberry said, crickets. You hear crickets and you're left wondering to yourself, like, am I good enough? Or, whatever kind of thoughts you might have. Now, and the problem is, the thing about it is, it's not necessarily that you're not good enough. You could possibly be the best at what you do, but it could just be, a bunch of haters on your timeline. It could just be people that just don't want to congratulate you or don't want you to be recognized or feel like you're doing a good job. So I'm looking at the time. It's about 16 minutes till my mastermind training, and I want to play one last video for you guys at this point. It's one of my latest ones. It's not the official music video for this song, but I wanted to create something for it because it was inspired by, a comment in a post. And it's one of those songs that's featured on the 2026 album of the year, that Welcome to the Hustleverse album, right? So we got a lot of smash hits on that Welcome to the Hustleverse album that makes it an album of the year for 2026. And this particular song right here, it speaks to the heart of, the different types of people. There's talkers and there's builders. I'm a builder. I put in the work. Yeah, I can talk it, but I walk it too. I walk it better than I talk it. And most people, they can't build nothing. They can't build anything. All they can do is just talk. So this one right here is for the talkers and the builders. And on that note, I want to thank you guys for joining me, helping me celebrate my birthday. And I look forward to connecting with you going forward, and connecting with the builders specifically, not the talkers, not the people that's just going to talk and say, oh well, I might show up, I might attend that training, I might attend that live, I might take you up on that opportunity. No, I don't want to talk to y'all. I want to connect with the real builders. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live, the Hustlers 10 Minute a Day Challenge live, which, We almost went 3 hours, right? I could do this all day. I got content for the whole day because I'm a builder. But with that, hope you guys enjoyed this one right here, and I'll see you in the next video.
On January 1st, the world will experience something unlike anything. It is the day the Hustleverse officially makes its debut. Welcome to the Hustleverse will be the first installment of the greatest collection of edutainment music to ever be created for the Hustleverse, and your first opportunity to get access to a movement designed to inspire, motivate, and fuel real hustlers. 2026 album of the year has arrived, and this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Everybody got a speech. Everybody got a quote. But when it's time to lift something heavy, that's when you see who's real. Talkers and builders. It's talkers and builders. Same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fix. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, cause the fruit tell the difference. I seen them type facts, then they vanish when it's action. Whole timeline full of hype but no traction. They know every saying, every caption, every line, but can't produce one result if you give them the time. They'll debate you for hours, try to win with a phrase, while a builder take 10 minutes and change his whole day. I ain't mad at talking, words can spark a flame, but if it don't turn to work, it's just smoke with a name. I come from where the block had to share. If one guy to play, we made room at the chair. Now I watch these lone wolf types bragging online, hold back in they bio, but they die on that grind. So I built me a system, put a map in the dirt, cause the truth ain't loud, it's consistent at work. If you can't carry bricks, don't call it love. I'm building a legacy, not a common club. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fix. One love the sound of success. One love the word when it's missing. So I move with the builders, yeah, cause the fruit tell the difference, yeah. I used to take it personal, like why they don't support. Then I learned most folks clapping got no strength to lift more, yeah. They tired from their own stones, they drowning in their own doubt. So they cheer for a second, then disappear when you're out. But I still keep receipts, cause patterns don't lie. If you only show up when it's easy, you not mine. See, a builder ain't perfect, builder bruising still here. Builder shaky some days, but he faithful to fear. Builder asks for the blueprint, not the gossip, not the tea. Builder say, show me steps, not tell me what to believe. Talker love being seen, camera hungry, ego fed. Builder love being solid, hands dirty, goes ahead. Talker chase validation like a drug in the night. Builder chase elevation, turn pain into a light. So when I pick my circle, I ain't picking by fame, I'm picking by effort. It's talkers and builders, same room, different mission. Different mission. One sell a dream with a smile. One bring tools for the fixes. One love to work when it's missed. I move with the builders. Decision day, yeah, that fork in the road. Either stay in the crowd or commit to the code. Cause legacy get messy when your message ain't clear. They'll fight over who you were in a race while you're here. So I speak with precision, no fog in my tone. Who I am, what I do, what I'm building, set in stone. I'm building with believers, not browsers on the fence. Cause I like what you're doing, ain't the same as investment. Some can share a link,
But can they help you build? Can they hold you accountable when you're ready to quit? Can they tell you the truth when your feelings get loud? Can they stay 10 toes when the wave hit the crowd? That's a builder. Someone solid when the spotlight gone. Someone playing with you daily till the harvest long. So if you want the freedom, bring discipline too, cause the talk feel good, but the bill pull you through. Yeah. Talkers make noise. Builders make history. Choose who you are and choose who you build with.